Into the NFL on EA Sports. Up next, we've got what ought to be a great matchup between the Green Bay Packers. I'll be back with you again with scores around the league at halftime. But kickoff.
Coach, a very warm day outside by Minnesota standards, but then again, it is still summer. Either way, the AC is working just fine at U.S. Bank Stadium in the Twin Cities. Today, it's a Week 14 matchup that should be a good one between the Green Bay Packers and the Minnesota Vikings. Three-quarters of the NFL season are complete. What lurks in our final month? We're underway in Week 14. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. So here's the Viking offense making their way out. And leading them out there, we get a look at their 6'3" quarterback.
And what I enjoyed watching this when we had a chance to watch them at practice, the easy camaraderie that he has with his offense.
A lot of respect.
A lot of respect, and frankly, I thought it spilled over to the defense. I thought the defensive guys were coming over and teasing and joking with him. You can tell they respect the heck out of him and really want to play well for him.
They'll run on first down. Graves. And he'll wind up with about 6 up past the 30 to the 31. The game's first play produces 6 yards. Brings up second down. The numbers for him from a week ago, 18 carries, 84 yards.
And their success running the ball in the previous game has to give them a lot of confidence, but they also understand going against a top 5 rush defense means you have to have a lot of offense in your game plan. Misdirection, counters, power game, maybe even some quarterback run to take the heat off of the running back.
That one a first down pickup of 8. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. A quick throw taken in by Diggs. And this play will be blown up. He'll lose yardage back at the 38. It'll be a loss of a yard, and that'll bring up a 2nd and 11. And he's already got 2 catches on the opening drive. They know he's going to be a handful.
And sometimes you game plan for that offensively. You want to make sure that guy touches the ball, and sometimes it just happens naturally, and then you change your game plan. When he has the hot hand, you keep going back to him because he's running routes with confidence as the game goes on.
Give him 3 yards on the run there. That still leaves him with a difficult 3rd and 8 coming up. The starters now on offense, and Stephon Diggs, our first chance to see him today.
Brandon, remember we had this conversation about how highly recruited he was in high school. Didn't quite live up to it in college due to some injuries, but boy, has he hit the NFL like a bomb. Stephon Diggs, a crafty, mature route runner who can go the distance.
It looks like the Packers have added an extra DB on 3rd down. From the gun, Douglas. Oh, he almost picked it. Nearly a turnover there on their opening drive. And that's a throw he'd like to have back. Now 4th down. So the defense able to get off the field here on 3rd down.
And it's one of the goals of the game. They've got to be effective on passing downs. It's one of the few things defenses chart. How did we do on 3rd down? That's a nice start for them in this one.
This is fielded at the 7. A very nice job on the run back there. He'll get 23 yards all told. And it'll be Packer football here. 1st down and 10. Rodgers will bring the pack up with a 1st and 10 right at the 30. They run it for the first time with Tony Pollard. And he went nowhere. He'll lose yardage back to the 29. It's a loss of a yard there, and it's 2nd down.
Absolutely love the effort there. The ability to flow from his inside spot and stop that one at the line of scrimmage. Nice linebacker play.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11.
Slant. Check 43.
Throwing now is Rodgers. And he's just going to get rid of this thing. To no one here. He throws it away. And now it's 3rd. Quickly now, here's a look at the Green Bay offense.
And this offensive line, they're going to have to be a lot better than they were right there. We certainly won't measure them just by one play. But they definitely got a big challenge ahead of them in this one. Because this defense, they love to run blitz. And they clog up the running lanes.
An incomplete pass on that last play. And that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. It's caught here by Adams. The completion there winds up a wash. And it'll bring up 4th down.
That was impressive to me because while it was a pass play, they still rallied to the football like they were filling running lanes, and they were able to put the receiver on the ground.
This is taken at the 18. 51 yards on the punt there. And the Vikings will take over here 1st and 10. And out now come the Vikings. And hoping to do better than they did their last possession when they punted the football.
Appeal to the vanity of your offensive line. Tell them that they control your fate. Leverage guys. Win the line of scrimmage. If you do that, you start to win 1st down. You win 2nd down. And guess what? You start accumulating 1st downs. And that's what they need in order to not punt the ball again.
The throw right side is complete here on the first play of the drive. And past the 40 before he's out. Bounds. And the coach has decided to throw the red flag. He will challenge this play.
We got this. A gain on the play.
Well, he challenged the play. It did not pay off.
And that means he lost a timeout in that challenge.
And as a coach, you hate that. Don't know if you took the advice of the player. You threw it yourself, but it didn't go your way.
At the end of the day, it all comes back to the head coach. He has the final determination on whether to actually challenge the play or not. In this case, it didn't pay off for him.
And that's got to be so heartbreaking. You throw that flag, you probably feel really confident, and then all of a sudden, boom, you lose the challenge.
Yeah, when you take a look at it, you're throwing that flag because you believe you're going to be right. And when it comes back the other way, you have to regroup.
So 2nd down, still 10 yards to go. Ball on the 43.
Switch.
And he'll give it here to his running back. And a good burst there gets him 7 up to midfield.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
The Packers bringing in an extra member of the secondary here to try for the 3rd down stop. From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. They'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. Well, this is going to depend on the spot, but it's not a very generous one. He looks to be about a yard or so short. Only 2 on the screen pass there, and it'll be 4th down.
So many things have to come together just right for a screen pass to break for big yardage. The blocking, the timing of the pass to the runner, everything has to fit together just right. But on that play, the defense was able to disrupt things and hold it to a short gain.
Now come the Packers for their next drive as we take a look at the playoff race in the NFC coming into the weekend. And right now they're in that number 2 spot. They'd love to hold on to that, but first things first, they want to clinch that division.
Well, let's go back to the conversation we had with the coaching staff, and you asked that very question about how important is it really? You got a good team. Can't you win from any spot in the play? They all looked at us like we were crazy, right? You can do it from a lower seed, but no one really wants to try it. Higher seed, much better for them. They want to clinch this division.
Definitely don't want to slip to 5 or 6 and go on the road in that first playoff game. That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves them with a very manageable 2nd and 1. On second down, it's Pollard. And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down.
And that's a run that'll energize an offensive line. They'll take that one all day long. Fundamental breakdown by the defense. You've got to be able to make plays on the edge.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. Now Rodgers. And that's complete to Adams. The numbers for Adams in last week's game. 3 catches, 68 yards.
Look, I know everybody wants to be number 1 in everything they do, but he's number 2 in the league in receiving yards. That's a strong number, a strong year, and they want that to continue.
On second down now, Pollard. And he's able to get this one out closer to midfield across the 45. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down.
I think they like this drive a little bit better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack. Because remember, the last drive, they went 3 and out.
A couple of first downs on the drive already, as they'll go from the 47 now on first down. Here's Rodgers. Caught on the right side by Adams. It'll go as an impressive 31-yard gain.
I know we love our jobs, and pretty much any play we see, we're pretty, excited about. But big plays, let's face it, that's what we absolutely live for. How about that one?
That was great, and what our camera missed was the fist pump from the sideline after that catch. They're fired out. That's a big gain. Rodgers now on first down. The Vikings after him, and they get there for the sack. Danielle Hunter in there to get him, and on the season now, that is 9 sacks for him. They were able to win last week despite him being sacked 4 times. They might need to tighten the reins a little bit, or this one may not end in another victory.
You're right about that. They can't count on just winning the game no matter what happens. They can't let the accumulation of hits and harassment in the pocket get to their...
And he's going to take it in. Touchdown, Packers. Tony Pollard, his 5th touchdown now on the year, as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. One of the keys to their long winning streak has been scoring first. An ideal drive right there, getting the first 6 points of the ball game.
Do you go back to our meeting with the offensive coordinator? Remember what he told us?
Absolutely.
With some teams, I script to probe in the early part of the game. Other teams, I script to attack. They've been in attack mode for these ball games and continue that in this one.
And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Now the Minnesota offense set to take over again, and still no points on the scoreboard. You're coming off of the 3 and out. They're just looking for anything to grab onto right now, aren't they?
I'm wondering if someone's going to take charge in the huddle. We always look to the quarterback, but sometimes it's another player on the team, a star, a veteran, someone with some excitement and energy. It's like, all right, guys, let's shake things up and let's go, because they still have an opportunity to make things happen.
Shake it off.
Mike 51, Mike 51. Hey, D-line, let's get in there. Let's get in there now.
On first down, Douglas. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Zadarius Smith racking up sack number 12 for him on the year. And they need to work to at least get some of this yardage back after the sack. 2nd and 19. Second quarter now from Minnesota. It's the Vikings in possession of the football, as they've got it with a second down coming up. On second down, it's Graves, and he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. This will be a loss of 3, and now a much tougher third down looming. Another example right there how this defense really is winning the entire game at the point of attack.
Yeah, right there at the line of scrimmage, because they are dominating it. It allows their interior to get upfield and spill into the backfield. So how are you going to combat that? People say bring in your tight end, keep him in. Your running backs, they have to step forward. Bottom line, your offensive line has to block them first to give yourself a chance. I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. What that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
Powers ahead at the 45. And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45. 12 yards on the return that time. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. And as this offense makes their way back out, NFC playoff race time, we give you a look at what's going on there. And I tell you, 4 weeks still to go, and everything is wide open, and it's fun.
And I know we always talk about, well, if the playoffs were to begin today, and then we kind of go, okay, but they're not. Let's see how it plays out. Wouldn't it be fun to play with this playoff lineup right now? Because to me, just about anyone can win this whole thing out of this grouping we currently have. And by the time we get there, it may look entirely different.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Now it's Rodgers. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Say hello to Eric Kendricks. He gets the sack there.
Partner, the Mike linebacker, the middle linebacker, has so many different responsibilities. How excited do you think he was to get home with that blitz?
Yeah, he wants a sack. He got it. On 2nd down now, Pollard. And they won't fare much better here as he maybe gets back to the line. No gain on the play this time, and it'll be a 3rd and long situation coming up. On 3rd and long, it's Rodgers. Looking deep for Adams. And that's going to wind up incomplete. However, we do have a flag down. Let's check in with our referee. Well, the crowd doesn't like that. Was going to bring up 4th. Now it's 1st.
They don't like it at all, do they? It brings them back into it, but really not in a positive way. Now they're angry. That can jangle a team a little bit as well.
And now on the pitch, the ball's loose. And the ball is going to wind up out of bounds, so they will lose yardage, but they'll keep the football.
I don't know about you, but I could hear and feel the sigh of relief all the way up here in our booth.
That was palpable. The sideline, the friend there.
No doubt about it. Ball goes over the sideline, able to retain possession, no turnover. I know his coaches are screaming, just hang on to the ball, man.
And he'll get 4 there, down to about the 12-yard line.
And that's one of the reasons you like the blitz even on rundowns. It confuses the blocking assignments. It doesn't allow those offensive linemen to get up to the second level.
Rodgers now on 3rd and goal. Oh, he may have gotten lucky. Tried to dump it off underneath on the check down. Nearly picked. Instead, it's incomplete.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It was way too tight. Unable to find anyone open.
They had it 1st and goal. 3 attempts, couldn't get it in, so they settle for 3.
Yeah, the field tends to shrink a little bit the closer you get to the goal line, doesn't it? It doesn't sound right. It sounds a little counterintuitive. But you run out of space to run the deep routes, so they can just sit on the shorter stuff if you're going to throw it. If you want to run it, there's just not as much space. They end up having to take 3 there.
The Vikings offense making their way back out. Now let's give you a look at the playoff picture coming into the weekend in the NFC. And 3 and out on the last drive. No points on the scoreboard. A little soul-searching now?
I would say so, and they need to help out their defense a little bit. They've had to be on the field a lot more than normal, put them in some tough spots. But what's the old adage? When you get another chance, it gives you a better chance to do it right.
The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6. They run the counter. It's Graves. And not much. Maybe a yard up to the 29.
Well, he hasn't made much of an impact in the running game thus far, and after that last run, not much is going to change in that area.
He hasn't been able to get anything going, and really the offensive line not helping him much. To throw on 3rd down, Douglas. It's complete to Diggs. And he will be very close to a 1st down, but I see the closed fist of the referee, and that means 4th down. A bit of a catch for him to remember. That's number 400 for his NFL career. Not a bad number at all. And the punt team on now as this one's sent away. This is taken around the 12. That'll wind up being a 50-yard punt, though they do get 10 back on the return. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Number 12 back out there. Aaron and his Packer teammates set to begin their drive. He's played a pretty clean first half, a touchdown, no interceptions.
Frankly, that's what they expect out of him. They want to see the ball thrown and thrown well, and he's able to do that and put it in the end zone. They'd love to see more of that before this game finishes. But right now, he's got his team in a good spot.
A good spot, maybe looking for touchdown pass number 2 here in the second quarter. From up near the 40 now after the big play to start, here's another 1st and 10. Throwing is Rodgers. The left side throw complete to Adams. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. 13 yards, first down, Packers. We've hit the 2-minute mark of the first half. 10-0 our score. A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
Now this one over the middle into the hands of his tight end, complete. Another big gainer that time. This one goes for 19 yards.
We didn't need to ask around the league, but we got to confirm this guy's a good player. They've got to find a way to get him more involved, call a few more plays that target him.
Absolutely, because here we are toward the end of the first half, and that's the first target, not just the first catch, first target. Now Rodgers looking deep for Adams, and it'll be intercepted. Picked up by Jesse Bates, and a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
Well, you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
Airing it out deep for Smith. And that's caught inside the 35. And they finally do get him, but not before he reaches the 27. So now then, the big play has him all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10. Operating from the gun, Douglas. That one into the hands of Thielen, complete. And he'll be brought down. Oh, that's a face mask. Certainly looked like it. Indeed, here come the flags. So give them the yardage on the pass and half the distance to the goal line.
Because they're inside the 30. So now you don't march off the full 15, right? You have half the distance to the goal. In any event, that's precious real estate given up.
Back to throw. Douglas. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. But a Viking was able to corral this one, and Minnesota will keep possession. So they will take the sack instead of the penalty.
And it takes another down off the series. But the biggest one of all, do you want to tell the guy who just got the sack that it no longer counts?
No.
No, not at all.
A crucial penalty there as the hold backs him up for another 2nd and goal. From the gun, Douglas. This is caught. And he will score. Touchdown, Vikings. Adam Thielen, his 3rd touchdown now on the year, as they are now on the board here in the first half. The way this one was going, you just got the sense they needed something before half. They've at least got something on the board now. Still trailing, but a good sign.
That takes me back to our preseason tour of NFL camps. You remember we talked with that one coach who said his emphasis this year was scoring in the last 2 minutes of a half, heading into the locker room. This hits it right there. Take that momentum, take that good feeling, and take it to the locker room, regroup, and start over. They got it here.
They did indeed. A lot of football, full half to be played. There again is the running back as he trots onto the field. And the good news, his team's winning. The bad news, he hasn't had the game that he's hoped to, at least to this point here in the second quarter.
And a lot of that is pride, because these types of backs want to be in the center of all the action and leading their team to victory. They'll take the win right now, hoping to jump his game up as this one moves on.
He probably won't. He's got the lane, and there he goes. Touchdown, Packers. Davante Adams, 79 yards. And the Packers are able to strike quickly for 6. And that'll give them a 2-score lead here, but I'm looking ahead. They just want to hold it for the final moments here in the second quarter. They don't want to give up anything on the other side.
No, not at all, because if they don't, it almost had the feel of an imposing their will score. And right now, they want to make sure they keep that and carry it into the second half.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And not wanting to risk anything here late in the half, he'll just take a knee, and they'll bring the football out to the 25. Now out comes their leader and the captain of this offense back onto the field. Been a decent start for him here in this first half, but they're losing. And I think as the captain of the offense, you probably always feel like you need to do more in that situation.
The best have always felt that way, and they won't settle for anything less. So right now, his goal is to increase what he's doing on the field. Try to make sure his teammates come along with him, and he feels like if I do better, everyone will do better. And that's what we're seeing from him right now. Got to have a little extra determination.
Yeah, the little extra determination. He has thrown the touchdown pass, no interceptions for him personally to this point. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. You've got less than 30 seconds left here in the half. You're well on your own side of the field. What are we doing here, Coach Davis?
Well, I'm trying something on first down, and it's something that's safe. It's something that's been done many times before. A lot of people say it's not even worth trying, but I'm running a draw. I'm running a screen. I'm seeing if something pops, and if it does, that can alter my strategy and potentially get me some points. And if it doesn't work, well, then you just run the clock out and go to the locker room.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Zadarius Smith, he's the culprit, and that is now his 13th sack of the season as his great year continues.
Here we go. 10 Lobo.
We have hit halftime. Still 2 more quarters to go. We'll take a timeout. We'll be back after this. You're watching the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. It's in the game.
All right, Brandon, we'll get back to you and Charles in a bit. But first, let's get to some of these scores around the NFL here in a busy Week 14. We'll get started over at Mercedes-Benz Stadium in downtown Atlanta. And that one getting close to halftime with the Falcons out in front. Cedric Wilson, a touchdown reception. From there, we're off to Tennessee to check on the time.
Due to time constraints, we move you forward in today's broadcast to the beginning of the third quarter. So it's the Packers set to receive the kick. They've got the lead as well as we are underway in the third quarter. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. The Green Bay offense now about ready to take possession here. They built a good first-half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. Throwing on 2nd and 8. Rodgers. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Give him 15 there, and the Packers have a first. That's the number 2 receiver in the NFL in terms of yardage. And tell you what, a few more plays like that, he won't be number 2 for long.
But that's what often happens when you have competitors running around the field. These guys know where they stand in relationship to yardage, total.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Danielle Hunter has now recorded 10 sacks on the season.
They need to stop to get back into this game, and here's one right to start the third quarter.
Yeah, anytime you go to the lockers with that 2-3 score deficit, you're right. You need that stop, get the football back, and they've done just that.
Series to series, play to play.
And he'll get this up to about the 40. 5 yards gets him back near the original line of scrimmage as they'll be left with a 3rd and long.
Third quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
Looking left side, and he's got a man. It's Adams. And that play went nowhere. Losing yardage. It'll be back at the 36.
They threw the screen to the perimeter, but to no benefit at all. Tackled behind the line of scrimmage for a loss of yardage.
On is the punt team now as this one's sent away. And this will be covered up. Pretty good result. It'll be down at the 14-yard line.
Let's go.
It's the Vikings' turn on offense. We get ready for their first possession of the second half. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half 2.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know in the half they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second half?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use. Just something to get you off to a quick start.
Here's a 2nd and 7. Complete. Smith has it. And mark him down way up close to the 40 at the 39. That good for 21 yards on the catch and run.
But when you hit him on the move like that, and he's able to get into open field with a full head of steam, boy, it's going to be tough to get him down.
Yeah, there was a big window. They're lucky they did get him down. And he's going to be stopped up quickly here. Just a yard up to the 39.
Well, they still have time to get him established, but in my estimation, they've got to pick up the urgency here. They've got to get quickly in and out of the huddle. Plays.
Looking to throw on 2nd down. Douglas. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down. We saw this a lot in the first half, and it continues. These receivers just not able to get much separation.
So that means they have to win the 50-50 balls. They've got to go up with the defender and find a way to start coming down with him.
And this time, contact and another incomplete pass. And now the 3rd down throw incomplete as well.
They went with the dime look that time on defense, just flooded the field with defensive backs, blanketed everyone, took away all the passing angles, thus the incompletion.
And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. And it's taken in at the 9. 6-yard return after a punt of 48. And the Packer drive will start from deep in their own territory with a 1st and 10. Devontae Adams in the Packer offense heading back out. Seems like the measuring stick for a receiver for a great game is 100 yards. Well, he's well past that now.
And as we analyze how he's getting him, that's where it really becomes fun because, let's face it, they keep sending coverage at him, keep trying to put the pressure on, yet he finds ways downfield and finds openings. That's a really crafty receiver.
Escaping the pressure right. And seeing no options, he just tosses this one away incomplete. Now that'll bring up 2nd down. Got out of the pocket. Didn't look like he had anybody open, Charles, so just gets rid of it.
And a good play by him. If no one's open and you don't have a running lane that you want to take, make the right choice. Get rid of it. Live to fight another down.
On 2nd down, Pollard. Pretty good running there, 9 yards. Sets up a 3rd and 1.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
They'll run with Pollard. And he'll be corralled right around the 34. Give him 10 there. Good enough for a Packer 1st down.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point. Going to make that defense stand up and stop them. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10.
Here we go, D.
Boston Scott, his first carry. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. That's going to wind up a loss of a full 3 yards on 1st down. And before this 2nd down play, we'll get a whistle, a signal, and a timeout. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn one here in this 3rd quarter.
Check, watch 54, watch 54. Watch the run, watch the run.
Now on 2nd and 13. Rodgers. They'll get this complete to the Notre Dame man, Equinemius St. Brown. 17 yards on the play there as the Packers have the first down as well.
Well, for teams that like to play man coverage, running corner routes can be tough on them because of the ability of getting into it. Sometimes you're squaring it off. Sometimes you're just rounding it. Sometimes there's a fake. Sometimes there's not. That makes it very, very difficult for a DB to stay with it.
Throwing on first down is Rodgers. And that will be incomplete. Would have been a big hitter if they had connected. Instead, it's second down.
I remember a coach telling me a long time ago the difference between playing corner and safety in the NFL. Corner is like the Autobahn. Everybody just flying by, and these corners have been really busy in this game, although they got it done on the last play.
On the last play, yes, but there have been some good numbers put up against him offensively. Now left side, a completion to his tight end. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a third down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
Here's the 7th play of this drive. This is 3rd and 4. And again, it's Rodgers. He's got his man, Valdez-Scantling. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. 11 yards and a Green Bay Packer first down.
Well, that's what you're looking for when you're wanting to throw the ball downfield. You want one of those guys who can play out on the perimeter, can play out wide, who can not only get open, but when they're covered, can uncover themselves downfield and create catches.
To throw is Rodgers. Now that'll be caught by St. Brown. The end result, 21 yards. Rodgers now a perfect 8 for 8 to start the second half. Not bad. 1st and 10. Into the red zone. It's Rodgers. Now look out. Rodgers lost the football. And we return, welcoming you back to Minneapolis. It's Packer football here as they've got the lead as well to begin the 4th quarter. They'll come up after the sack on a 2nd and 12. Run for Pollard. And he's going to take it in. Touchdown, Packers. Tony Pollard, his 2nd touchdown of the afternoon. And the Packers are able to stretch that lead out further.
I know we don't talk about it enough, but the intelligence level of the guys up front blocking, the offensive linemen, maybe the smartest guys in football overall. Add in a little bit of athleticism and a whole lot of toughness, you've got a lot to deal with, don't you?
That's why the guys in the backfield get them really nice Christmas gifts, right?
If they're smart, they do.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And as this offense makes their way back out, it's AFC playoff race time as we give you a look. And with this deficit, you can't have too many more drives like the last drive where you had to punt it away.
You know what I would tell my offense right here? The punter doesn't exist, guys. He doesn't even exist. He's not a team anymore. I just cut him. All right? So you've got to go out and create some offense for us here and give us some points. No way does that guy get on the field in this drive.
Poor punter.
Yeah, it wasn't his fault. But, hey, listen, there's got to be casualties at times. We're trying to win a game.
They'll come up now 2nd and 4 from the 31. 2nd and 4. He's going to find his tight end. That's Chris Herndon. 6 yards to pick up, and that's a first down. This quarterback now, 5 straight completions here in this second half. 1st and 10. Operating from the gun, Douglas. And Diggs has it. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2. Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. 2nd and 2. And he's going to find his man out of the backfield. backfield. That's complete. And he'll get it out a couple yards shy of midfield at the 48.
Get him, boys!
The offense on third down tonight, a pretty woeful 0 for 5 thus far. They're looking at third in the nose of the football. Looking to throw. Douglas. The open man is Smith. And he takes it down deep into Green Bay territory. That one will go down as 33 yards on the third down conversion. Defensively, I know they have the comfortable lead here in the fourth, but they do not want to give up big plays like that.
They want to finish strong. So oftentimes in this situation, you tighten up underneath in your coverage, and you bring your safeties back.
And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. A great play there with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Vikings are able to close the gap just a bit.
And that's another route that defenders would vote to take out of the game.
The wheel route?
Oh, without a doubt. You're just trying to move everybody in one direction. And whether it's a running back or another receiver, as they sit out on the sideline, you've got a problem on your hands.
Yeah, well, the defenders hate it there. It happened, and it resulted in a touchdown. That time, a 6-play drive. And it's polished off by a Viking score. Following the touchdown, Badgley out there to kick it away. This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. And Green Bay getting ready to go as they take the field. Well, there are 2 scores on the plus side. Still time here in this fourth quarter, but maybe you start thinking about playing keep away?
Yeah, I think here's the situation. You're not thinking touchdowns anymore.
Pressure coming from the Vikings, and they get there and bring him down. Danielle Hunter racking up sack number 12 for him on the year. After the sack, it's 2nd and 19, and the road gets a bit tougher from here. Now, before this second down play, we'll get whistles and a timeout. That's going to leave them with just 1 remaining here in this fourth quarter. And they need to work to at least get some of this yardage back after the sack. 2nd and 19. Rodgers now to throw. Oh, it's a screen pass. That's complete. And he's got room. And past the 40 before he's out of bounds. 27 yards there, a first down. Well, probably the only thing he did wrong there was go out of bounds, nursing this fourth quarter lead. You want to stay in, eat the clock.
Yeah, you got to love the effort, the catch, the extra yardage, but you got to know the situation. Stay in bounds, young man.
On first down, Rodgers looking deep for Adams. And that is incomplete. Showed off the arm strength there, but to no avail. Second down.
Well, partner, I think the defensive fellas got the memo, and they decided to cover him on that play.
Yeah, he's already up over 100 yards in this game. They tried a deep shot, couldn't get it.
Yeah, when you've had that much success, finally someone said, let's try and put a stop to it and put people on him.
Recon, 132 fighter.
On second down now, Pollard. And he'll be taken down, but